back to my classroom. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. In this video, I'm going to share with you an update list of pros and cons for Education First. I've been teaching with Education First for 1 year and 4 months. I've already signed my 4th contract and I've taught 2,274 lessons. Before we do get into the video, I do want to say, if you are new to my channel, welcome. On this channel, you will find live class recordings where I share with you the different techniques I use when I teach English online. You will also find demo lesson videos for all of the companies that I successfully signed contracts with, just to give you an idea of how to best prepare for your demo lesson videos. You will also find transparent videos of my earnings to give you an idea of how much money can be made in this industry. And you will also find videos of teaching tips. So if those are things that would interest you, I do ask that you would consider subscribing to my channel. If you are a return viewer, thank you so much for joining me. So as I've said, I'm going to share with you an update list of pros and cons for Education First. I'm going to share my screen with you so we can take a look at this list together. Education First, pros and cons. So here is a list of pros. I do have 2 lists of pros. This is my very first list. Consistent bookings. As I've said, I've been teaching with Education First since October 2019. During that time, I've had my schedule open from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday, and I still receive consistent bookings. My schedule still remains fully booked. Open schedule 52 weeks ahead. With Education First, they do allow you to open your schedule 52 weeks ahead. I think this is a great option. As I've said, they offer their students 20-week courses. So having the option to open your schedule 52 weeks ahead will allow parents to book you for additional courses if they see that your schedule is open this far in advance. Very well-structured curriculum. This is why I do most of my teaching with Education First, because they have a very well-structured curriculum. They do a great job with introducing the students to the English skills. All of Education First lessons start with vocabulary. It transitions to grammar, listening, reading, and phonics, and it helps to prepare the students for having conversations. Education First now has a simplified feedback process. They've made some changes on their platform. There used to be a time where you had to capture your students' strengths and weaknesses, as well as make a notation for future teachers. Now, all of your feedback is simply a checklist. You simply check off what applies to your student and their skill focus. You don't have to do any typing unless, of course, you want to give a personalized greeting, but they also have greetings you can select from. So here's an additional list of pros for Education First. The first one, there is no parent review. There used to be a time where parents could rate you 1 to 5, but that has since been removed from the platform, and now there is no parent review. Sometimes when you teach with ESL companies and there's a parent review, it can be a little intimidating. Automated contract renewal process. Once you've completed your 6-month contract with Education First, you will receive an email to complete another background check. Once that background check passes, your contract will automatically renew. With Education First, you do have the option to claim sub-outs as often as you like. When teachers are not able to teach their lessons, they do have the option to sub out those lessons to other teachers. And here's a time where you can fill those gaps in your schedule, as well as potentially gain new students. And lastly, with Education First, you have the option to teach 3 different levels. As I've said in previous videos, Education First has 3 levels of learners. They have small stars between the ages of 4 and 6. They have high flyers between the ages of 7 and 10. And they also have trailblazers between the ages of 11 and 15. So that is a great way to broaden your teaching skills. Here is a list of cons. The number one thing that I don't like about Education First is the pay. Education First offers all its teachers $6.60 per 25-minute lesson, which equals to $13 an hour. Although there are a number of incentives you can take advantage of every month to earn $20 an hour, the flat rate for all teachers is very low. With Education First, there is not a playback option. You cannot play back the lessons that you've taught. That is not available to teachers at Education First. Also, there is no option to review the lessons that you taught. This was not always the case, but since Education First made some changes to their platform, teachers are no longer able to review those lessons that they've taught. Once you've taught a lesson, you can no longer go back to access that lesson to refresh your memory and make notations in your feedback if you'd like to. Also, with Education First, there are no additional milestone rewards after you've taught 2,000 lessons. As I've said in previous videos, with Education First, they do have a list of milestone rewards. If you teach a certain number of classes, you will receive a cash bonus. Once you teach 2,000 lessons, you will receive a bonus of $1,000, but you don't get any more milestone rewards after that. So those are the cons with Education First. So now I'm going to share with you my schedule so that you can see what my bookings are looking like these days. So here is my schedule for Education First. As you can see, it is February the 15th. I only had one student today. This is Chinese New Year, so a lot of students aren't taking classes. As you can see, I have a number of gaps throughout my schedule. So let's go a little further into next week. As you can see, next week, things gradually are picking up. I do have a number of gaps throughout my schedule, but there are a lot more classes. So I'm going to go a little further. And as you can see, now my schedule is almost completely booked, with the exception of one gap in my schedule. So daylight savings time does start March the 14th, which means I will get additional students added to my schedule. So we're going to go a little further just to see what my schedule is looking like when daylight savings time begins. So March the 15th, as you can see, my schedule again is almost completely booked, and I do gain an additional student because of the time change. And typically all of these classes here do fill up during daylight savings time. So I will go from teaching 8 classes a day to 10 classes a day, Monday through Friday. So that is my updated list of pros and cons for Education First. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope that you found it to be helpful. If so, please give me a like, and I'll see you in my next video. Teach happy.